Hi friends, my name is Luciano and I make videos on the internet. I tend to make videos about jump chains and other choose your own adventures. And in today's video, I am going to be introducing people to a broader understanding of choose your own adventures, as well as trying to talk about why I like them. We're going to go ahead and get started, but if you are a new friend, I'm so excited to get to have the chance to get to know you and to get to learn about you. And if you are a returning friend, I'm delighted that you have decided to make my channel and me a part of your life for a second or more time. And I hope that even if you're only here for a little bit, you have a good time. We are now on r/make your choice, which is one of my favorite places in the internet for choose your own adventures. Choose your own adventures are a form of interactive media. More often than not, when people think of choose your own adventures, they may think of things like that special episode of Black Mirror, or they may think of things like those old choose your own adventure books. When people talk about choose your own adventures in an online capacity, they are talking about something that's not quite like that, but instead, they are talking about, in many cases, a wide range of different digital medias. I'm going to be showing you all some different choose your own adventures from r/make your choice, so that way you can see what I mean here. We are on the top of all time, and the #1 most upvoted post in this community is by JMouse, and it is a cozy choose your own adventure. So as you can go ahead and see here, this is what that image looks like a little bit more zoomed in. And as you can see, you get to pick only one. And this is just a nice little feel-good choose your own adventure. There are choose your own adventures that are this simple, and I'm going to show another example of a very simple, very fun choose your own adventure. And then I'm going to start to talk about some of the more fantastical and epic in scope, or at least bigger in scope than this choose your own adventures that are out there. As you can see, we are now looking at some more choose your own adventures, beginning with Which Pill Do You Choose by Donovan McLaughlin. And I think that this is another very handy, very simple choose your own adventure. This is also not the #2 most popular post in this community. The #2 most popular post in this community was one of the more complex ones, so I wanted to skip over it, although I would like to do a video on it at some point. It's a very neat one. Instead, what we're looking at right now is a hilariously simple subtype of choose your own adventure, which are the pill ones are the most common types of these ones. And in fact, the pill choose your own adventures were actually some of the very first ones that I ever saw. Before I had somewhat of a concept of a choose your own adventure. You get to pick a pill and you get to consume it, and then you get its benefits. Another one of these ones is by Palomo_64. And this one is not a pick a pill, but instead you get one choice. And here are the different choices that you can choose from. Sorry that we decapitated you, God of Disco. I hope that you won't consider this blasphemy. Might be. But as you can see, more choices, that kind of thing. Another pick something, get something super simple. As you can see, these are both popular and presumably fairly easy to make, although some of them, like this one and this one, are a little bit more involved than the pill one that we saw earlier, and a little bit more involved than the cozy one that we saw earlier, although that one was also not the simplest form of these pick one, get one things that I've seen before. So now that you have been able to see these, you can start to see what some people have in mind when they think of digital choose your own adventures. But now we're going to start to look at things that are a little bit more detailed, a little bit more world building heavy. So that way you can start to see some more of the potential. Because right now, the ones that we've seen have all been fairly simple, and it seems a little challenging to try to think of how to make some of those a story. Although, as you can see, there's definitely some of these ones that have a lot of world building in them, and that can absolutely be part of a compelling narrative. So as you can see, we have shifted websites and we are now on a website called Image Chest. Image Chest is very possibly either the best or second best place in the world for English language choose your own adventures, especially the types of choose your own adventures that I am thinking of and referring to when I use the term. This is the City Witch choose your own adventure. It's by Monchop. It is the most popular adventure world building choose your own adventure, and at least on the safe for work version of this. Obviously I can't do videos on the not safe for work ones, and there is a very vibrant and active community of not safe for work choose your own adventure makers for anyone who is curious about that. But this is a multi-page choose your own adventure. It is one that I am not super familiar with, so I have not actually taken an in-depth look at it. But as you can see, it is a very fun, world-building, very cute choose-your-own-adventure. That's not to say that this is the safest setting in the world and that there are no dangers, because there are. You go ahead and take a look at that ad at the bottom. I feel like it would have been, after I accidentally put it in, I felt like it would have been weirder if I didn't just show the whole thing. But as you can see, this is an adventure world builder type choose your own adventure. It is not just you get something and then you could go do whatever you want in the same world that you were once in. Now you are someone who is in a different place, and it is a lot of fun for that. I am going to go ahead and continue to show a handful of other adventure type choose your own adventures that are a little bit more involved than just pick a pill, pick a pet, get visited by a super cool lad who gives you some funky power and then dips. I really like choose your own adventures when they feel like proper adventures that take you to new places and that let you see new things rather than just, oh hey, you have a nice quality of life power. Although, believe me, there are some really good, oh hey, have a nice quality of life power choose your own adventures out there if you look through enough of them. We are still on Image Chest. We are taking a look at the Demon Eyes Choose Your Own Adventure, which is a choose your own adventure from 4chan. It is a safe for work and extraordinarily popular adventure, choose your own adventure that involves a bunch of high schoolers figuring out that they have gained special powers in the wake of surviving attempts on their lives by demons. I am simplifying a bunch of different things here. They have eyes that have unique properties and mystical powers, and I do have a jump document of this for anyone who wants to experience it in a jump chain format without using the generic choose your own adventure jump, which does let you visit jumps like this. Which does let you visit choose your own adventures like this, but instead is more original and builds on the stuff and is more akin to fan-made DLC than to something wholly new. But I really like this. There are some images here that I am going to go ahead and stop us before we get to them. I wouldn't consider them problematic, but I do know that some other people might. So I am simply going to go ahead and tell you that when you look through these images, definitely be careful. But this is a very fun choose your own adventure that has lots of adventure elements. You are a person in Japan. You get to fight demons. You get to fight alongside monsters, because while there's monsters in this world, many non-human people are completely friendly and it's very fun. There's a lot of really cool stuff to this choose your own adventure. It's pretty intense. And it's also pretty strong within its own universe. These are not people with baby level powers, at least not at the upper end of powers in this verse. Some of these people are probably at least building or street level, and some of these powers definitely scale much higher than this, especially if you leave Earth and go somewhere else. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. There's a lot of fun to be had in this particular adventure. I really like it. I didn't want it to be the whole video, especially because I don't love the idea of showing all the images in a video. I do think that YouTube might have some questions, which is understandable. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at another, maybe one or two other choose your own adventures, so that way you can see why some folks are all about this. We are now in Welcome to Vaporwave City by LicksMackenzie, and this is one of my favorite choose your own adventures ever. It is, in my mind, an almost perfect example of what a choose your own adventure that doesn't give you any sort of wacky superpowers or anything could be. I have talked about this in other videos. I have made 2 different jumps for Vaporwave City, and I've made an essence for the Essence CYOA for the guide, which is one of the main characters here. So you could tell that I am a very big fan. Licks has actually commented on some of my stuff, and I've always really appreciated it. I think that this is just a phenomenal choose your own adventure. If I could go to any choose your own adventure in real life, this is definitely one of the ones that I would pick. I would obviously prefer to go on a jump chain where I could go on infinite choose your own adventures, but if I could only pick like 1 or 2, this would be one of the ones that I would seriously consider. This is a fantastically good, atmospheric, detailed, chill, choose your own adventure. It doesn't grant you any zany superpowers or make you an ultra super god of hyper death or whatever, or anything like a whole bunch of other choose your own adventures do. It's a simple, you get to go on a vacation or adventure to a new place for a couple of years, and then when you're done, you come back home. I honestly think that this is just a really great choose your own adventure. I definitely recommend checking it out. When I think of choose your own adventures, this is the kind of thing that I think of. And I'm honestly so happy that I got to see it and that I got to be a part of it indirectly. I hope that people go experience it. Just really good choose your own adventure. We are now looking at the Transynth Ascension Choose Your Own Adventure. This is a choose your own adventure by TroyX, who is a popular, well-known choose your own adventure maker whose stuff is mostly well-known for being either very powerful or very not safe for work. But Troy does have dozens of choose your own adventures. There are plenty that are safe for work. This is one of the ones that's safe for work, although this is also one of the ones that is very strong. And in this, you are the first Transynth. A Transynth is an ascendant, which is a type of being in the TroyX setting that is very powerful. That's the central thing that defines them. They are the strongest type of being that there is a significant number of, and there are 5 known subtypes. There is the Transynth, of which there is only one, the player character, unless you are inserting new ones into your setting. Sanguinarchs, which are super powerful vampire, deity-like creatures. Archdemons, which are incredibly powerful demons. Cosmic gods, really beefy gods. And dragon lords, really beefy dragons. Transynths are super science, super machines that have a lot of very distinctive powers. They are the newest type of ascendant, although there is known to be more than 5 types of ascendants. If you know expanded universe Troyverse things, it's just that in the main multiverse, there are only the 5 that we just went over. I am not going to go through this whole thing, but it's really good. Of all of the choose your own adventures that I have shown today, this is hands down the strongest one. It is head and shoulder above the other ones that we have gone through in this particular video, although there are stronger both TroyX Choose Your Own Adventures and also stronger Choose Your Own Adventures in general. It's just that once you hit the Ascendance level of power, lots of things start to get real goofy. The strongest Ascendants can easily tackle entire universes, plural, by themselves. So this is going well beyond most comic book scale, unless you are dealing with the very, very, very upper ends of Marvel and DC. So this is a very fun choose your own adventure where you get to devise your build and become essentially the greatest machine, cyborg, biodroid, or what have you in the multiverse. In the Troyverse, there's more than one multiverse, but there is a central multiverse where most of the Choose Your Own Adventures take place in, and almost all Choose Your Own Adventures below a certain scale of power take place in the same one. There is a lot of lore stuff in the Troyverse that I don't really want to discuss in this video. I've thought about doing videos on the Troyverse before, just because it's such a fun topic, and I have created so much stuff that is adjacent to it. Usually stuff that is sort of wider than the Troyverse, in the sense that it's ways of incorporating Troyverse things into other settings. My most populous type of jumps so far are Troyverse jumps. I have done many both safe for work and not safe for work Troyverse jumps, and anyone who wants to go look at my folder, who wants to go look at my drives, can know that even though I sometimes cover not safe for work topics in my jumps, my actual jumps themselves, in terms of images and stuff, are always safe for work, even if the actual subject matter isn't. That said, there's definitely words in some of them that are very not safe for work, very sex related, all that kind of stuff. So definitely avoid reading that while you're at work or in an otherwise sensitive place, but you can feel safe knowing that you're never going to get an image that is not safe for work, although you might get an image that scares you in a more normal, spooky sort of way. As you can see, there is a shocking range of choose your own adventures. There are truly hundreds of them, and while sure, some, maybe even many of them, are simple, oh, here's a medicine that can cure you of whatever, or here's a pill that will give you $1 billion, or even the essence meta stuff of, oh hey, here's a beverage that turns you into a dragon, or something like that. There's also plenty of full-on adventure settings that you can visit. There's lots of different ways to get to new worlds through Choose Your Own Adventures, and I really like talking about Choose Your Own Adventures and sharing the ones that I've seen with my friends. So I hope that you have had fun pausing this video at multiple points and actually taking a look at what's on the screen in front of you. I am going to go ahead and call it here. I definitely think that this is a nice point to go ahead and cut off the video, and I can't wait to share more Choose Your Own Adventures and have in-depth conversations with you about them in the future. Bye-bye, everyone.